What is up, Earthnoids and Spacenoids? I am just a simple new type, and in this episode, we're returning to We Are Federation Hooligans. Last time, Saki went up against the tribunal of his peers, who were throwing him and the Nemesis team under the bus. Zeon returns to testify and reveal that Tara is the mole. That is when the Grand Canyon base was attacked. This time, we will find out who the Garmazabi Zaku pilot is, and the Slipner team will try to arrest Yuji. So let's get into this. Yuji's striker is good to go, but can he trust Tara's repairs? He tries to convince him that he isn't a Zeke and to remember the time they repaired the mobile suit together. Yuji sorties to protect the base for now. Eddie wonders if Saki knew this would happen. He says that he merely planned for a worst-case scenario. They run into Magella attack tanks. The team heads to the Medea. The masked man leads the Zeon forces and takes out one gym. He is trying to draw out the zombie. Peter Ford and the higher-ups are trying to get a handle on everything. They notice that there is a radio signal coming from the Nemesis team's Medea. A goof approaches the Medea with two Zakus. As the goof attacks soldiers on the ground, Yuji comes to defend. The masked man knows that the Striker Gundam has high mobility for a short amount of time. Eddie is concerned that Yuji is going to overheat once again. Yuji goes in for the boost and successfully takes out the Zakus. Eddie wonders how he was able to do that. Hawk notes that he didn't just max out the thrusters, which causes him to overheat. He increases the thrusters little by little, not causing his mobile suit to overheat, and while still keeping its mobility. Also, after jumping in, he begins bobbing and weaving before attacking. Remember, Yuji's fighting style in a mobile suit resembles his expert boxing skills. He jumps in, bobs and weaves, and attacks, and repeats this over and over again. Hawk says that today's words of wisdoms are, "He who finds a swift stallion is a lucky man." As the Medea tries to take off, EFF stops the Nemesis team and tells them to surrender. Eddie begins takeoff, but they aren't going to make it. Suddenly, a blast takes out the GMs, blocking the Medea. It is the Garmazabi custom. The Medea is able to take off as Yuji faces off against the Zaku, but it doesn't fight. Suddenly, Tara runs out and gets into the Zaku. He is indeed the mole and the pilot of the Garmazabi custom. Yuji is in disbelief. The Zeon Remnants take off. Yuji heads into the hangar where he sees that Lieutenant Rock is still alive. He apologizes for lying in the courtroom, but now is not the time for that, as gyms surround the hangar. EFF calls for Yuji to come back to the courtroom and they can all talk. But Yuji and Rock launches in the Lightliner. The Lightliner is a subflight system very similar to the Corvette booster and resembles a hang glider. It has a canopy-top cockpit. The wings can fold in for easy transport. They take off, leaving the gems confused. They catch up to the Garmazabi custom with Zaku escorts on Dodais. Yuji says, "This one's for you, Doug," and then he kicks the Zaku off the Dodai. The other two Dodais rush ahead, but they find themselves in front of the Slipner Corps. One thing I didn't point out last time was that Sean Cassidy is piloting a GM light armor. The RGM-79L GM light armor is the product of ace pilots wanting mobile suits or specific needs. This was made alongside the GM Sniper custom. The beam rifle has the ability to critically damage a mobile suit with one blast. Since that is the case, why have all that armor? So they stripped most of the armor and took the Shar Aznable approach of simply not getting hit. It is equipped with a beam saber, a custom beam rifle, a beam spray gun with a 1.4 megawatt output, and a shield. The team's mission is to capture the Garmazabi Zaku. Tara uses the Dodai to bombard the team with missiles. The gun tank 2 fires. The Slipner team is very coordinated. They use the gun tank to fire long range and force the Zakus off the Dodais. The gun cannon then fires and pushes them towards the edge of the forest, where Sean, in the GM light armor, attacks at short range. Tara thinks he has the upper hand, but the GM light armor is swift. He throws the Heat Hawk, but Sean is nimble and dodges. He is able to take out the Zaku's arm and disable the unit. Slipner surrounds Tara. He unleashes a smoke discharge and holds the gun tank hostage. It gets heated, and the gun tank pilot tells Sean to take the hit. That is when Yuji drops from the Lightliner and demands that Tara answer all his questions. But the Slipner team fires on the Zaku. He tells them to stop and pulls Tara out of the cockpit. The Gundam tells Yuji to stand down, as they know they have been labeled deserters. The gun cannon goes in to arrest Yuji and Tara, but Yuji does a sweet shoulder throw. He says that Tara is a traitor, but he still is a friend, and the Nemesis team must be the one to interrogate him for their case. Sean isn't having any of it and demands that they hand over Tara. Yuji places Tara down, though he looks pretty busted already. Sean says he will finish this in less than a minute. We got ourselves a countdown fight, but joke's on you because this is a manga and I read slow. Now who has the last laugh? Lieutenant Rock is watching from afar. He wants to help, but there isn't any weapons on the light liner. That is when Hawk approaches him. By the way, I would totally watch a buddy cop style Gundam show around these two, and you could call it the Hawk and the Rock. That's a free idea, Sunrise. Have at it. Hawk notes that Yuji is getting better. On the last attack, he actually used his boosters to barely miss Sean's beam saber, even though he fell on his ass. The gun tank and the gun cannon wants to help, but this is now a duel for some reason. At Hillground Force's base, Ford believes that Saki will bluff and try to get them to chase them to Augusta Labs, where he will try to read their moves. General Wayne wants to put Ford in charge of an ambush unit. Ford doesn't think that Saki is a traitor, but he is faithful to the chain of command. Wayne tells Ford to work with Cortez. He is the one who ended up shooting the spy last time. Yuji's booster goes out and he loses speed. Sean takes out the gem striker's arm. All that he has left is the spike shield. As Sean comes in for the final attack, Yuji uses his booster and stabs the spike shield into the ground. This allows the striker to rotate, and he kicks the GM light armor. Sean wasn't able to take down Yuji in a minute. Sean likes that he found someone strong to fight, but then Hawk comes in to help out Yuji. The gun cannon pilot is afraid of him and refers to him as Hawk of the East. During Zeon's landing operation, he and Sean, known as the Dragon of the West, were two unbeatable forces. They all have a standoff, when the masked Zeon commander and a Wappa swiftly comes in and grabs Tara, and the two make their escape. Sean says that this is just like what happened in Florida. Hawk says, "Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I was thinking about some titties I saw in Florida." Later, the Slipner team is transporting the Garmazaku for evidence when they are suddenly attacked. It happens to be the mysterious gem sniper that destroyed the Juagu after the departure ceremony. The Nemesis team meets up with the Medea and resupplies. They have to buy supplies from the locals, since they are on the run. Yuji and Hawk argue about his words of wisdoms, while Yuji drinks a Mam Cola. Later that night, Yuji runs into Saki. He is quiet at first, but he mentions that he was at his last year's Rookie of the Year fight. He says that his tenacity during the fight is what made Saki want Yuji to join the Nemesis team. They wonder why Tara would boost morale of Zeon so late in the game. Saki wonders if the Zaku came from the Federation. Victory is in sight, and there are many strategies to end a war. But it seems EFF is split between two powers. EFSF wants to end the war with one swift strike, but EFGF wants to prolong the war. This is because they want to solidify resources and ensure power in a post-war world. The prolonging of the war is due to General Wayne. He may be using the Garmazabi Zaku to prolong the war even further. But if their goal was simply to sow chaos, why infiltrate the Nemesis Corps? After Saki sent off Jean, Eddie informed them of the Medea 511 crew that was completely wiped out with the exception of Tara. That was his first suspicion. After that, they went to Ellsworth Base, where Zeon stole a data drive that had locations of Zeon bases. This could have helped end the war faster, and it conveniently was taken and destroyed. After that, it was clear a conspiracy is afoot. He said that he made two mistakes. The first mistake was trusting Ford. However, he doesn't believe that this is Ford's fault. He is just a political pawn. At the Grand Canyon, the Zeon spy was taken out by a sniper that was never found, which means at both Ellsworth Base and the Grand Canyon, a sniper was following them around. His second mistake was splitting up the Nemesis Corps, which allowed Tara to boost up Zeon troops. Tara most likely has supplies from Augusta on standby. He then switches over to help Zeon fight, and then comes back with supplies, none the wiser. That means that Augusta Labs also has a spy. Augusta is huge, so who knows who it could be. Yuji says that Tara is a disgrace to the Federation, but Saki thinks that he is a Zeon soldier. It seems that a Zeon soldier took a Zeon soldier prisoner. Just another thing they don't have all the pieces to. The masked Zeon soldier doesn't get any details from Tara or what his real name is. He calls Tara a midget, and Tara proceeds to slice his legs and threatens to make him his height. He slices up his face and tells him he is his henchman now. Returning to Augusta is too risky, so they intend to go directly to Vice Admiral Traberton. He, along with Rebel, want to end the war swiftly. They head to the Mojave Desert. As they head out, they get a signal from the enemy. As they prep to leave, Jean notices a beam blast from afar. He is able to dodge the attack, but it kills some civilians helping out their crew. They realize it is a sniper from afar. Jean runs into the Medea and grabs his GM Sniper Custom 2. The RGM-79SP GM Sniper 2 is a sniper variant based off of the GM Command. This was one of the last GM units created during the 1-year war. It was also one of the most advanced gems of its time. Its specialized head visor has built-in compound sensors. The special built-in compound sensor uses laser sensors sensors, powerful zoom cameras, and image stabilization for precision and long-range targeting. This unit's specs are superior to the Gundam and can stand up against a Galgoog. This was developed late into the war and its production costs were extremely high. Although it never went into mass production, this would go on to inspire parts of the Nemo. Weapons include a Vulcan pod gun, a beam saber, a 75mm sniper rifle, the 90mm bulb-up machine gun, and pretty much any weapon used by a GM. He heads out to take care of the sniper. And that will do it for this episode. As the Nemesis team tries to solve the mystery, they can't seem to get a break, as someone is after them. Next time, we conclude We Are Federation Hooligans. We get to see a sniper battle. A core booster is hiding a familiar Gundam, and Yuji and Terra face off. But that will do it for now, new types. Remember, sometimes you just don't want to hear words of wisdom from Hawk. Peace.